Hi friends, it's Becky, and welcome to what I made this week. This is a wrap-up and chat video that I like to do just once a week, usually on Sunday, but sometimes it's on a Monday, just because I like to try on the jewelry that I've made so you can see what it looks like on a real person, and then also to talk about how I'm doing, my plans for next week, and anything that I'm really thinking about at the time. So I had an extremely family-centric week this week. My wrap-up for last week was delayed by one day because on Sunday, instead of sitting here making jewelry and making my wrap-up video, I flew to the Panhandle of Texas to where my mom lives, and my sister and I planned this for like a month and we kept it secret from her. She had no idea. None. And then I showed up and she thought it was me, or she thought it was my sister, because my sister was already in town visiting her in-laws and my mom at the same time. And so they have a ramp that goes up to their house. So if you roll your suitcase up the ramp, you can hear it. And my sister was going to be, she told my mom that she'd be staying at her house instead of the in-laws that night. So my mom was expecting my sister to show up with her things. So I rolled my suitcase up and opened the door, and it was such a surprise to her because she expected a daughter, but not this one. And she was so surprised. And so we had such a great time together. You guys got to see some of it because I talked them both into sitting down with me for my weekly wrap-up for last week. And so you got to actually meet my sister and my mom and just listen to us being silly a little bit together and trying on some of the things that I've made for them in the past. So that was so great. And then I also got to spend several days just with my sister. We drove back towards, she lives just south of Dallas and I live in Austin. So we're about 3 hours away from each other. It takes about 6 hours to drive to her house from my mom's. So we drove together. We had a little road trip time. We stopped and got some dang good candy in Chillicothe. I hope I said that right. And we did the road trip things that you do. And then we spent some time at Sisterton doing some Bridgerton things. And I continued that Bridgerton theme with some of the things that I made. So let's talk about the things that I made. Because I wasn't going to be here on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or even Thursday, I pre-recorded some of my videos. I pre-recorded 2 of the unboxings, so you got to see those on or just after their official unboxing dates. That was the Softflex Book Lovers kit and the Jessie James Speed Octopus Garden Magical Mystery Beak box. So both of those I had pre-recorded. I haven't started working on the Octopus Garden stuff yet, but I did get into the Book Lovers kits this week once I got back home. And then I also made 2 sets of jewelry before I left with the Sunken Treasures bead box from Bargain Bead Box, and I'm going to try those on because I did not want to add them to my try-on video before the pre-recorded tutorial was made public. So I'm trying them on now since this is the week that you saw me make them, even though I made them last week before I flew up. These ear wires, these hooks, are always a little bit fiddly for me because you've got to tip them the right way to get them into your ear. And once they do, okay. But then you can like close the lever and they're not going to fall out on you. So these are the earrings that I made with that. And I think, are they facing the wrong way? No. think I put it in the right way. Okay, yep. Using these patina things, and the necklace that went with was this octopus. Release the Kraken. And I used so many of these beads that look like patinaed, and then we have these metal beads. And I found in my stash this clasp that I had gotten a while ago. And it is a fish clasp with a little hook in the mouth, and I thought they were just perfect to go with it. I tried to find where I got them from, but they weren't available anymore. But I did find somewhere where you could get the some in like a silver tone, and I had put those links in my what is it called, the thing in the description on that video for where you might find similar clasps. But I love them. And then there was a bracelet that went with it. There we go, with again the little fish hook, and I really loved these. I thought they were gorgeous, and now that I'm actually home, I can wear them, because I had also left them at home. I was flying, so I did not pack a ton of things. I did pack some projects to work on, because one of my goals for this last week was working on things that I had started. So I had some bead weaving projects that I had started and not finished, and I finished some of them there, but I didn't bring them home because I ended up giving them away while I was there. So I don't have those to try on, but they were from the Potomac Beads kit things. So we've got those. All right, so that was one of the necklaces that I made, and this was the second one. It was the one with the companion bundle. And the companion bundles are usually like very limited quantities. So I had got it, and by the time it got to me, it had been sold out for a really long time. And again, it's one of these ones with the levers. I always am terrible at being able to get them into my ear, so I'm just going to skip that part. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy on here. And so I wire wrapped this dragon vein agate. It's a really, really rich chocolatey brown, and it goes really well with these dark brown beads. But it's the companion bundle. It's supposed to go with that, and it has a magnetic clasp. I don't have a pacemaker, so I can wear them. And there it is. That's where it sits. I did a swirl with my wire to mimic the swirl on this Nautilus shell beads. And then we made a bracelet with the same links that I made. This is wire wrapped links, beaded chain. It was a lot of fun to make it with both of those before I left and have it be ready to go, so you guys could still have some fun making with me while I was visiting family. But yeah, so I finished a lot of things when I was at my family. One of the things was a project from the Potomac Beads box, and I'll put a link to their video showing that one, but it was basically a floral cluster along the neck, and then the sides were it's just seed beads. And while I was with my sister, we were watching Bridgerton because we were just doing a binge watch together. She said, "Oh, that's a very Featherington necklace," and so I gave it to her. I finished it up, made sure it would fit her neck, and she can wear it because it's all seed beads. Like, there's a glass button for closure, but no metal. None. So it's super, super easy for her to be able to wear next to her skin. And then, while I was with my mom and my sister, we made some stretch bracelets, and these are some of the ones that I made. I'm going to put a post in the community tab of my channel that has all of the bracelets that we made, so you can see the ones that my sister and my mom made. But we just had a lot of fun. I had brought some beads with me and some stretch cord. That's all I really brought for, besides some of the projects that I was in the middle of working on. That's all I really brought for bead making and jewelry making, was that, so that I could just sit down with my mom and my sister and we just beaded some bracelets together. And they like made bracelets for my sister's like grandma-in-law. she made some for her, and then we my mom and my sister like swapped bracelets, and I made one for my mom, and we just had a really great time making stuff together, and you know, just having a chat and a visit and creating. And it was so much fun. It was so great, you know, and like it had been a while since my sister had done anything creative, and she just was thriving under it. She's so good at putting things together and making creative choices. I love that for her. So we made these, and this is just some what is it called? Starts with an A. Amazonite. These are just some Amazonite beads that I had in my stash because Amazonite is my peanut butter. And what I mean by it being my peanut butter, if you weren't here for that video, is that it's that thing that when you go to the store and you're like, oh, hey, I need peanut butter. So you get some peanut butter and then you bring it home and go to the pantry to put it away, and you see all of the other like 5 jars of peanut butter that you already had. But you somehow were like, hey, I need that. That's how I am with the Amazonite. So I had a bunch of it and I brought it with me because like this light blue color is one of my mom's favorite colors. So I brought beads that I thought she would like and that would go with, that my sister would like too. Anyway, moving on, because I'm going to talk now about these. I made these earrings for my sister with the Book Lovers kit from Softflex, and I had so much fun making them because I painted the paper that came, they put book paper in there. It was just these pages that had been taken out of the books there. Here, let's help it focus a little bit better. That had been taken out of the books from the Bridgerton novel, in fact. And then I just took some of the things like the lilac and the bees and painted some roses in there to go with this light pink color. And it's just, it's perfect. I glazed it with some diamond glaze on top to help seal it. And now they're beautiful earrings. I made some little ear wires with bead embellished ear wires like Kristen has been doing. She inspired me to do that. But anyway, so that was additional family things. But that's not enough pink for me. So I also got out the stone that I won at the Gemstone Orphanage adoption auction that they had, and it is banded pink agate. And I'm just undoing my clasp before I put this on here. I'm gonna put that up close so you might be able to see it a little bit better. But I made that, wire wrapped it, put these drops on, and strung it up on some beading wire to make myself a necklace. And look how it sparkles, like it's pink and sparkly. It's a very Barbie necklace, if I do say so myself. And then I also used the dress-up bag that came with it. All of these beads came with it. It was an addition to the other. You know, get that, and then you also get a little dress-up bag to go with it. It's not as many beads as you get in the subscription box, but it's enough to be able to make several pieces to go with and accompany your bead. And like there's even more left over that I didn't use for this. And I also made a bracelet. I added this clasp from my stash, but the clasp that came on the necklace was in the dress-up bag. There we go. It's very pink and I love it. Absolutely love it. So I made that too. And then I got some bits from the new Jesse James Beads collection, and I just uploaded the video for that today. It's Sunshine USA. It's a beachy theme, like retro beachy theme. So you got like these rattan pieces, you've got these floral bohos, you've got some sparkly bohos, and I made some earrings. Just 3 pairs of earrings, that's all I did. But I only used a few of the components and pieces from that collection for these. Most of them have some bits and pieces from one of the bead strands for that. And it's the wrong pink to go with this necklace, but it's the right blue to go with my aventurine bracelets. So you've got those. Let me put on my flower ones because I bet you want to see what that looks like in an ear. It's these ones with some lucite flowers and some little acrylic leaf beads dangling. Like that. So I made those. I have 2 of those. And then I also used this cord and I just made a little knot. It's not the most biggest decorative knot, but it's a decorative knot. And these are like shoulder grazers. They are very long and swingy and I love it. But yeah, this knot is just a figure 8 knot. Look how it swings. Super swingy. I love it. Anyway, so that's the stuff that I made this week. And my plans for this coming week, it's the July 4th holiday. I'm going to dig into that firecracker tween box from Gemstone Orphanage on the 4th of July and make some red, white, and blue jewelry with that. I think it'll be really fun. But I also grabbed some things from Beadbox Bargains, that's the sister site for Bargain Beadbox, in their red, white, and blue sale, which I think is getting delivered tomorrow. So I will probably pick some things out of there. Oh wait, no, I already got it. I didn't do a haul. Sorry, I was busy. I'll pick some things out of there that I got in that, and we'll do like a couple of different red, white, and blue projects. We'll do some with the firecracker box, and we'll do some with the bargain bead box stuff. So I'm gonna have that. That's my plans for the 4th of July to do that. I already went and visited family. You know, I am gonna be spending time with my other family here, but I'm gonna have time as well to make some jewelry. So I'll be doing that. My dogs are really, really great about fireworks. They will mostly just sleep through them. So I don't really have to worry about that. My brother's dog used to get really freaked out about it. She is deaf now because she's old. And that's fantastic because she ignores the fireworks. So we are all just fine with them. And sometimes my neighbor across the back here, sometimes they put on a show. And it's really great because we could just open up the blinds in our living room and sit on our couch and watch the fireworks from there. And we don't have to worry about getting eaten by mosquitoes. which is definitely, that's something to worry about here in Texas. Is having mosquitoes eat you while you are trying to be outside and enjoying the weather. And although it's real hot, it is real hot. And I just want to mention that it is hot in Texas, and if you noticed a little noise in the background in some of my videos, in this one, in fact, I really hope it doesn't bother you. I've been trying to remember to turn it off before I start recording, but I often forget. It's just, we have air conditioning, but I also like having the fan to move the air around. It just really helps, especially just this time of year. You know, when it starts getting cooler, the fan will go off and it'll be fine, and I won't have to remember to turn it off before I start recording. I try to remember. It's like one of the things I've been adding to a checklist. But sometimes I don't go through the checklist. Sometimes I just sit down and I'm like, I gotta start this because I am full of creative energy and I need to get it out. So hopefully it doesn't bother you. If it does, I apologize. But it's hot here, y'all. It really is. It's summertime. We are deep in the throes of summer right now. And you know, that's great for a lot of reasons, but not for keeping cool reasons. We're subsisting off of, like, you know, things that you don't have to cook, and popsicles for half the summer. Fruit salad, yay. So that is where was I? My train of thought. So that's one of the things that I'm planning this week. I am going to do probably a dollar bead box opening if it gets here in time before the end of the week. Oh, also my new Gemstone Orphanage package is getting here tomorrow. Yay! And that is the subscription box. So I'm excited to open that up. I took a peek at the preview on the Homestroke Jewelry channel. Steve and Debbie went ahead and did a preview to show what was in the box. And I am loving it. Like, you know, I love bright colors and all of that, but I also really love like neutrals. And I have been missing the desert. I grew up in Arizona, and so like sometimes I've been feeling it, like especially like this week I was just kind of missing, you know, where you got the sun and the dirt in the sky, and it's just or you and the dirt in the sky, and that's it. And just the colors of natural rock and natural earth. And so like seeing those earth tones is like, you know, I got my bright colors, I got my pastel colors, I've got all these other colors, but I really like neutral tones. I really like that, like those earthy colors and features. So I'm looking forward to that, to see what's in there and seeing what we can make with it. Because sometimes that's something that we do. But I also this month, starting tomorrow, is World Watercolor Month. So I am going to do a challenge for myself, because I did it last year, where for at least 2 months in a row, I did a little watercolor sketch every day, just a little bit of art. And sometimes it would be like my lunchtime art, which is a great time to do it. Sometimes it was in the morning while I was having my coffee. I would do a little painting. It was a great way to start my day. So I'm going to be doing, for World Watercolor Month, 31 watercolor sketches, 31 days. Doodle Wash is the sponsor for World Watercolor Month. They came up with it. Doodlewash.com. I'll put a link to it in the description so you can go and explore that. But they have daily prompts for that. So I'm going to be following the prompts if I can. There might be some prompts that I just don't have. I'm just like, how am I going to paint that? It might be. But I'll follow the prompts, and I'm just going to do little sketches. I got myself a little... I mean, I have tons of these, but this is one that I am dedicating just to World Watercolor Month for 2024. It's watercolor paper, cold press, 300 grams per square meter. It's Tumorata is the name of the... But it's gonna work because it's a good little size. It's a 3x5, and that way I can just make a little watercolor sketch. It doesn't have to be super detailed. It doesn't have to be a big to-do. It doesn't have to be a multi-day painting. It's just gonna be a quick sketch for each of the prompts. I'm probably also gonna be adding a little bit of ink because I love ink and wash. And those are my plans. I'm going to post at least a photo on the community tab of my completed doodles, and if I'm really feeling like it, I might do like just a real quick recording of me painting it. If you guys wanted to see any of those, let me know. But it's just so you're not surprised if my channel has a little more art in it than jewelry. I know a lot of you follow me for the jewelry, but I also know several of you enjoy my art as well. So there is definitely going to be more art this month. It's not going to be every day that I post a video, but I will post what I sketched, just the finished work at least. And it'll just be a picture, it won't be a video when we do that. But I also decided that I'm going to do a multi-month project because I have so much watercolor paint. I've got little travel palettes because I'm a sucker for a cute palette. I have several watercolor sets that I have hand filled because I love the process of hand filling paint palettes with new watercolor paint. I just love the entire process of getting new paint and opening it up and filling your paint palette and filling the wells and then painting with it and exploring with it. And I've been getting the itch all month long, or all year long, and it's July. I have gone 6 months without buying any new watercolor, and I want to keep that going. And I think part of the way that I can help scratch that itch is for me to go through all of my paint palettes and swatch them out in a central place. So I've got these painter's color diaries. They are large, and you basically just go through and you do all of your swatches and you label them, and it's a central place. When I get paint and I do a swatch, it's usually something that I have, it's a loose piece of paper that gets filed who knows where. It's not that organized. It is not that great for that. And so this way I can have a central place where I can flip through the pages when I'm looking for a specific shade, or when I'm looking for a color, or just get some inspiration looking through there for what I want to paint with. And I can have all of my paints, all of my palettes, all of my things that I have. I can reference it, but also the process of putting it in there is going to give me that new paint feeling that I'm exploring my paint, and getting acquainted with the paint I have will probably also really help me in wanting to use it more and in being able to appreciate it a little bit more. So I'm not going off and being like, ooh, I want more paint, because I have paint. I have paint, and I have really good professional paint, and so I want to go ahead and use that. But I think what I'm going to do is just one sheet, one page per week. It's not gonna be a big project that I'm gonna be doing it for hours and hours and hours every day, forever and ever. It's just gonna be one page a week. I'm gonna fill up with some paint swatches, and I haven't decided if I want to film it or if I just want to have it be just some me time. I haven't decided that yet. If I do film it, I'll end up talking about each of the colors, probably the pigments, while I'm doing the swatching. I might do a little sped up version where I paint them in with the time lapse and then talk about it after. If you guys wanted to watch while I'm doing it, I enjoy watching swatching videos, and maybe some of you guys do too. It'll be something. But I am going to end up going through, by the end of the year hopefully, all of my paint, and actually having a catalog and something I can reference that says this is all the paint that you have. So I'm not out there buying an extra tube of paint that I already have. You know, I just don't think that that's something that I want to play around with. And so I'm gonna do that for me. It's gonna be a for me thing, but it's also gonna be a little more, let's get a little more art here on this channel, because I love this, doing these little paintings. It was so much fun. And I want to do some more art and jewelry projects. And one of the things, one of my holdups sometimes is not being quite sure which shades and which paints are going to match the palette of jewelry that I'm using. And so having the swatch book that I can pull it out and open it up and turn the page and be like, okay, no, this is the spot on color. That'll help me when I'm doing those types of projects too. I think that is most of what I wanted to talk about. Thank you all so much for the wonderful, wonderful welcome that you gave my family on this channel, and just all of the love that we have gotten and appreciation for our relationship. And you know, it's just been really, really great, and it's been a lot of fun to be able to relax and enjoy my family, just to have the joy of being in each other's company. It's so lacking sometimes when we live so far away from each other, and it's not like across the country from each other, but you know, 3.5 hour drive. When you're busy with so many other things in your life, it makes it a little bit more difficult to see each other when we want to, but we got to. And it made me so happy. It made my mom so happy. She, you know how she was smiling in that video? She didn't stop smiling the entire time I was there. She was just beaming. And that made me so happy that I could be the cause of so much joy for her. Because, you know, my mom makes me happy too. And y'all make me happy, and I'm very grateful that you are part of my little family here on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later this week.